Using my new iPhone 6, I'm going to give you a visual tour of the carving as she is going to appear on the wall when she's completed. So far so good. As you can see, she's coming away from the wall as I had hoped. Their head's coming along nicely. And overall presentation is going to be quite dramatic versus the static pictures that you get with just a photograph. But as you can see, she's going to be a really nice piece when she's finished. Hope you're enjoying this. Trying to do as best I can. And there. And you'll see I'm adding the claws to make them a little bit more prouder. That's the white area underneath her head. Just a fast little video of the back side of the head. This is the ugly part, the part that you really never get to see, but I wanted to show you how she develops, and it's a process, but nonetheless it's not the part that you really see too much of. Okay, you can see more development now on the face and on her head and on laying in the details of the feathers also. So everything's coming along smoothly and nicely, just time consuming, that's all. In the case of the head, the front of the head is going to be elongated and everything's going to be longer, and of course the back side is going to be foreshortened or shortened because it's bending down, so not going to have as many or quite the same facial features on the back side. But again, she's coming along nicely. Her head area is coming together very nicely now. You can see the beak area and both of the eyes. I'm going to try to get down here. I think it's too dark and you might not be able to see that, but I'll give it my best shot. And then you can come around to the front. You might be able to see some more there, but you can see how the head's really coming together now and how proud it is. And you can see how the claws are really starting to come and become more dynamic, more full, so to speak. But as you can see, she is coming along nicely, and there should be more to come. Okay, here we go. I'm working on the back side. I have her all clamped down so she doesn't fly away. And you can see as I'm progressing down to this side, I'm working on the ends of the back side that you won't be able to see, but still I'm carving it to give it a dimensionality that I was talking about before that I think enhances the quality of the carving. And you can see how she is progressing nicely, and the banner on the end also. And I think that's it for now. Bye. Doing the front side now, and you can see how the banner is coming along, the flag, the foldovers are developing very nicely, if I can say so myself, and the claws are also have a better presentation, and the head and the overall folds are developing, the flipping or the uprising of the feathers. And this is the front side of what I showed you on the back side, this piece of previously. And we'll work into the back side, and you'll see how I've added some more depth or form to the back side feathers that I took a little bit too much off, but I wanted to build that back up again. And you can see how that is, and it's actually a polymer styrene carbonate mixture, which is technically called Bondo, and you can see her head. Bye. Adding more detail as we progress on the back side here. As you will see, I've added some filler to the back side to make it, to add really more roundness and more shape and more form. And then we're coming down to the end here where you're going to see that the working on the ends and working on little tassels at the end, and standing back you can really see the depth that's been added to the overall piece. She's really getting a nice form and shape to it. And of course the banners, a little bit at a time. You can see how the banners came on, the flag ends came along, and her claws. You see her claws, and then of course all the way to the end, to the other tassels. Starting on the tassels, and you can see the rough out. This is a basic rough out of how it's going to appear. And I didn't want to just show it to you when it's done, I just wanted to show it to you as it's progressing. And here's one side, and then zip over to the other side, and you can get an idea of how they're going to be rounded A lot more detail is going to come in, especially on the pikes at the end of the poles. You'll be able to see those coming to life too. And that's it for the front side, back side of me. And here's the front side, and you can see a little bit more different perspective of how it's going to look with the roundness and the flow of the cord. Let me go back over to this side, and again you can start seeing the roundness and detail in the how it's going to appear. I think it's coming along nicely so far, and that's it. She's coming along nicely. As you will see, the tassels. Yeah, the tassel's all roughed in. Unfortunately, I can't put the back side on, but the back side, wait a minute, let me just see. There we go, there you go. You can see the back side. That's the back side, and that's the front side. And you can see how well that has developed. And we've gone over here now to the claws, and the claws are coming along, adding the detail and depth to those. And of course, keep on working on the flag banner at the ends, and again down to the other end, and the tassels and the points, the petards at the end. And let's flip her up. Up she goes, and then you can see the back side. The back side and the front side are all carved completely symmetrical. A whole lot of sanding and detailing work on the back side. Here we go. You can see a little bit of blue here and there. That's just fixing up all the little hiccups that I see. But you can see that the back side has progressed nicely, all the way down to the carving and the smoothing out and the points on the ends. She's all ready to go on the back side. Going to put her up and move to the front side now. Here we go on the front side. You can really see the detail here. Smooth out all the little areas. Head came along nicely. Did a little changing on the beak area. Made it more prouder. All the way down to here. You see the banners have really come up to life. A little more touching up here, making everything perfect as I can make it. And then again, all the way down to the end here. You can see her head. Trying to figure out how I want to make the eyeball. Still working on that.
I installed her on the wall in my studio so I can study her for a few days. As I'm progressing on other commissions. It's good to step back and analyze a piece before you really start adding in the final details. It's always tough to have to go back and do something to catch a hiccup that you might have missed. So this is something I've gotten into, hanging the piece and actually studying it for a few days.
Progressing to the wings and the feathers, the smaller feathers, so to speak. And then you can see everything's been drawn out, and I'm starting to carve them in. This would be a rough out of all the feathers and all the details that go into the feathers. And you can see her face coming down here, and underneath I'll be carving all that out. Slowly but surely, but then all the details will be coming to life. It's a process, but a little chips at a time. And take this over this side, you can see how everything is there, and that's it for now. As you will see, I've basically got all the little feather lines in, and you can see how that's coming along. And the ends. And the details that are coming to life now. See all those little curlicues? I wanted to show you the curlicues before I vacuumed them all up. I vacuumed up quite a bit already, but I wanted to show you what it actually looks like with all the little wood chips, so to speak. And you can see the feathers have all come to life now. And the ends again, more detail. But overall, I think she looks damn nice. Here she is all ready for priming. And I make a primer of paint, oil-based paint, linseed oil, and turpentine. And basically, it's a solution that will basically really penetrate into the wood and really give me a nice sealant. And at the same time, it raises the texture of the wood to the point where when I go to clean it up and sand it down and recarve it, I pick up all the little hiccups that might have occurred. And at the same time gives me that extra protection of having it really a deep down protection to the wood, even though it is mahogany. She is all cleaned up and ready for priming. I make up a solution of linseed oil, oil-based paint, and turpentine. I don't use a paint thinner. Paint thinner has chemicals, dirty chemicals into it, but the turpentine is a natural solution that really penetrates deep into the wood. And what that does at the same time, it protects the wood, it raises the wood, and it helps me when I start going on to the next stage, which will be completely sanding her down and recarving the whole eagle. As you will see shortly, it's a whole other process, but it's well worth the added detail that I get out of the carving when she's done. Starting the priming, as you can see, this is how she looks now, and how she's going to look in about 5 or 10 more minutes after I get the backside done. I'll show you that part next. But here's the backside. All primed, and as you will see, I get a little closer, you can see how I'm picking up any little details that are going to need to be repaired or made deeper. And here we go, the bottom, back up, and to the end. You'll be able to see this. This side back here, up to there, so you'll be able to see what's going on this side. So it's going to be an interesting journey. I almost forgot to show you the front side, which you've seen before, but I just going to show you the front side before she gets all primed and sealed in. And you'll be able to see a lot more detail. Come down here and you can see this side, you see the background there, but interesting, huh? I think so. All primed and sealed. As you can see, it's coming along. All the details, all the little imperfections I'll be able to pick up now. Down here in the shield area. Of course, your head area. Lighting is not great, but you get the picture, I think. You can really pick up all the little hiccups. Let this sit for about 2 or 3 days, let it harden up and dry up. Then proceed on to the next stage. What I'm wanting to show you here is how rough the surface is before I got too far into the cleanup process. As you're going to be seeing, you're going to see areas where I'm cleaning out all the different feathers, all the different areas, and making nice sharp clean cuts on everything, so when I actually start to go into the next stage, it's going to have a nice clean base to it. And you'll be able to see how the head's coming along. You can see how that's being cleaned. And how I'm literally recarving every feather, making sure every feather has a nice fullness and a depth to it. And that should be it for this side right now. But you get the general idea. Here we go. She's all sanded down, all cleaned up, and this is the back side. And as you can see, all the little details in the sanded out. The backside details over here. When I start to paint her, she'll have a lot more crispness, a lot more detail on everything. And here's the back side of her face. Her head, face, whatever. But you can see how she's going to look on that side. Here we go with the front side. You can see all the carving has been cleaned up. You can see the detail on the tassels. And all the feathers have been recarved, cleaned up, and more detail added to everything. The claws, the shield, recarved, cleaned up. We'll do some more sanding on that, but that's basically where she's going to remain. And you can see that. The head. You can see how she looks before I attach her. And the rest of the piece. This one. The tassels and the feathers. And overall, she's coming together. As you will see, she's completely all sanded down, patched up, and ready for me to start the painting process. Let's see the tips and the ends here. Any little defects, try to eliminate the best I can, but I'll still be going over this for the third, maybe even the fourth time to get it absolutely cleaned up. As you can see, the back side is all done. Now I'll show you the front side. Together now, she's all together. You can see all the details all cleaned up. You see her head there, they gave it the detail there. How she's coming along, how she came along. Here. You can see that on the back side. And she's all finished as far as the sanding and touching up goes for right now. Got more to come, but this will be the first stage. Starting on the banners, and as you will see, this is what they call 1/4 or a full 2 inches in thickness. By the time I'm done, it'll probably be about a 1/2 inch thick all the way around, so I'll be taking quite a bit off. But she's all cut out and ready for me to start actually forming it to the flow of the body of the eagle. It'll be fun, but at the same time, I'm doing what I like to do. I'm re-cleaning up, making any little defects that I'm finding on her and taking them out before I put more paint on her. And here we go. She's been moved upstairs into the painting room, and as you're going to see, I'm working on the flow of the banner a little bit at a time, but mostly just laying it in so she's going to have a nice flow to the body of the eagle. And I'm going to be, and you can see how that is. Got a lot of waste to take away, but I think overall she's going to be pretty nice when she's done. And that should take care of that. The banners have been all carved, sanded, and primed. And I roughly placed them in the places where they're going to be. I can't do anything more until I put them in a permanent spot, but you'll be able to see how the banner really flows to her head. Flows down, flows out, and flows out to the end. And the same thing with the other banner, how it's going to flow out. Come all the way to the end. And you can see how she's going to look. Coming along nicely. Starting on the banner. From C to, as you can see, it's all laid out. All marked out for the center. And starting on everything now. Oh, here we are, all painted, completely painted, all the stripes painted in, all the different details. As you can see, a nice shiny finish, all ready to go. The little holes you see will be to support the banner, the flags when they go in, the banners. And see the ends here. And again, a couple little holes, but that will help me secure it to her when she's done. And you get back up view, whoops, and then you can see how she looks. And that's it. All carved and primed or painted for the first coat, and now I'm putting on the second coat of blue. And as you can see, they're all carved. You can't see a hole up, but you get an idea of how it's going to appear. And after the blue dries up, I'll be putting in the red. A couple coats of red, then it should be ready for gold leafing. And it's coming along nicely. all painted and ready for the gold leafing. Stars are all carved in and repainted. The head, the claws, everything else. You can see the crispness and the sharpness. The flag is showing all the way down to here. All done. We go over to the banners, all carved and painted. And this is going to be her nest that she'll be flying home to California in. Set it on here, and then she'll be ready to go. As you will see, or as you can see, I'm starting the gold leafing. And I'm using an Italian gold leaf. I found this by accident, or I should say not by accident, by experimenting with different kind of qualities of gold leaf. And this gives me a more warmer color, which I like a lot. Goes on nicely, covers nicely. I got it from a company called Sips. More coverage of the process, of the progress, of how she's coming along. As I said before, I even do the back side. It just gives me an overall better presentation. And we'll swing down here to the bottom of the shield and the back side of the wings. Got a little touch up there to do before I flip her over and start on the front side, but you can see how she's going to have a nice overall appearance here. And back up to the front here. Well, that looks great, doesn't it? I must say so myself. Okay, this part here has been all gold leafed, and I'm doing my touch-ups, a few little spots, but I'm coming over to this side, and this side has what they call a sizing on it, and the sizing will help the gold leaf to adhere to the eagle. And I just wanted to show you the process of how it goes on. You can see the gold leaf being laid in and how it bonds with the surface. And how she comes to life. And I'll continue this process over the whole piece as she gets completely done. Just wanted to show you again doing two things at one time. Here we go. Showing you how this goes on. You can see how these big clumps of gold just blend right into the body of the eagle. And how nice she looks. The wing area all the way down into here. And you can see it just disappears and blends right in with her body. Quite amazing. It's a quite amazing process. If you think about it, it's just a thin layer of gold, but it will last for years and years and years. Indoors, forever, outdoors. Well, let's put it to you this way. I'll be long gone before this eagle ever needs to have anything done to it. As you can see, a little bit messy, but all done. And her face, wings, stars. I gotta clean up the mask. Basically, she's already just a few little more touch-ups here and there, but basically she's gonna be getting ready to fly back. She's gonna be flying home to California. So you can see how nicely she came out. Hope you enjoyed the journey so far. Oh, as you can see, she is all done. Everything's been taken off. You can see the stars, how beautiful they look. I might say so myself. And the carving and the lettering. Boy, gold really, that Italian gold really came out beautiful this time. And the stars here. And you'll see my connections, where I'm going to connect them. Okay, connect the banners. Down to here. And back up again. Next picture you'll be seeing is with the banners on. Here we go, the last, I shouldn't say the last, maybe there might be some more, but here she is all together. The back side. And you can go to the front side, you can see, signed, sealed, and all together. Next stage would be putting her in her box to file on home, but you can see how the banner flows in and flows out. Came out nicely. I just thought I'd show you how she looks in her nest, so to speak, before and then she'll be put into her box, but you can see how she's all wrapped up, all protected. You can see how that doesn't even move, it's rock solid. I have a screw on the top so she doesn't move around on top. That'll lock her into place. Other than that, my God, I'm going to miss her. She's been around here for a long time. They almost become part of the family. Enjoy.